honey and water, plus some yeast and a little bit extras, we're making mead. Hi, I'm Bradley with 2B Brewing. We're making mead today. First, I want to thank Money Pit Farms for the honey I purchased from them. I like using local honey in my meads over store-bought, but store-bought works just as well. We're also going to need some raisins, golden or standard, black, purple, works, and orange, and some yeast. This is the wine yeast, Premir Blanc, but you can use a beer yeast. You can use a different wine yeast, EC 1118. That's what I've used in the past. That's very dry. Trying something different. Yeast Nutrient. I am using Dimonium Phosphate. There's another version of Yeast Nutrient out there. You could also use like from your grocery store brewer's yeast, or take actual bread yeast, boil it just in some water to sanitize it, and that'll release some of the nutrients that yeast needs to eat. You don't need the yeast nutrient, but it's to help make sure your fermentation goes. Let's pour it together into a sanitized container and a sanitized funnel. We are going to add a little bit of water so the honey can start to dissolve. Then we're going to pour in as much of our honey as we can. I think there's a problem. I think I gotta heat it up in some hot water first. While the honey is warming up, we are going to handle a couple other little things. As for raisins, you're going to use a handful. 8 to 10 to 15 is more than enough. Raisins are more of that sugar component. Cheers. As for the orange, we're going to use all of it. I like taking the stem part out, but the rest of the orange, maybe minus the seeds, is all going to go in here. Rind and all. So easiest way is to just go ahead and cut your orange. If you don't want to use all of your pulp, you don't have to. Oh, this orange smells good. I don't see any seeds. Perfect. Part of the reason is you want some of the juice from the orange for some of the acidity to help counteract a little bit of the honey and to make it a slightly better environment for the yeast. A little juicy. Now let's see if our honey is a little more movable. If not, what we'll do is we'll add a little water. We'll start spooning it down. I should have heated it up a little earlier. Ooh. All right. So what I'm gonna do is, while we're waiting for that to go down, I'm gonna keep it in the warm water. There we go. And let's add a little water on top to hopefully help it with the dissolving. Take my teaspoon here and try to help stir this in. use the water to help dissolve some of the honey. So this will go down. Maybe I should have used a bigger funnel. You could also warm your base water up a little bit. Not too warm, because you don't want to necessarily lose some of those delicate flavors of the honey. You know when it really starts to go. Alright, we're almost done. For a sweeter mead, you'll want to use 3 pounds of honey. If you want a drier mead, not as sweet, you'll probably want to go with 2 pounds of honey for a 1 gallon batch. And then, any honey that's left in the jar, add some water. So you can shake that up to get all that honey out. This is also adding oxygen into the water. Actually, this is now called must. This will help help the yeast eat. Going to add in the majority of our water. Okay. One last thing before we top off with some water. Sanitizing a spoon here, because what we're going to do is we're going to get sanitize our cover too. We're going to get a little bit of water, our yeast nutrient, and our yeast all mixed in, and then we're going to put it in. We're going to do a full teaspoon of yeast nutrient. So this is a half teaspoon, so 1, 2. Of our yeast, we're just going to do a half teaspoon. Pour in some water. See if we can rinse our spoon off a little bit. And then now give this all a good shake. And this will now go into our must. I'm going to add a little bit more water. Got to stay with a little room still for fermentation. There. Let's go with that. Then, taking a sanitized cap, we're going to give this all a good shake to try to get all the honey dissolved. And the honey is stuck on the bottom. If you're using a glass container, make sure you have a really good handle on it. I think we're pretty good. And then Add a sanitized airlock. And store in your normal fermentation area. I'm going to try to keep this at 64, 65 degrees. I took 3 grams of corn sugar and a 1/3 cup water as my priming sugar. That small amount is 0.11 ounces, so grams is just easier to use. I'm basically going to take half of this and transfer it to here. Basically, half is going to be a sparkling mead. The other half is going to be a plain still mead. So I'm splitting this into 2 batches because I'm trying to do a sparkling mead and a still mead. Sparkling mead basically means carbonated. I realized I messed up because the original fermenter had oranges and raisins in it. I should have actually done less. So as you can see, the sparkling side, I got 2 16s, 2 12s, and then a very partial 12 ounce. On the still side, I got 2 16, a full 12, and then a partial 12. Oh wow. Either way, the partials will be good for sampling to see how it turns out. If you've liked this video so far, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button to be notified of more videos as they come out. Today, we're sampling our mead. It was a small batch, but we then split into 2 different types. We did an attempt on a still mead, meaning I did not add any extra honey or sugar back into it when bottling. So any carbonation in here is only from whatever sugars and yeast was present when bottled. The other one, we did a sparkling mead where I added sugar back in to do 2 things. 1, add carbonation, but 2, sometimes that can also be what's called a back sweet. Most likely the yeast ate all the sugar, so it's just carbonation. But there are instances where that can help keep it sweet. So we're going to try both. These are our partial bottles. This one's to here, and this one's to here. So there's a little more on the still. We'll try that one first. A little bit of carbonation, but again, shouldn't be a whole lot. This is honey wine, and it's so crazy as to how clear it can come out to be. I mean, this is a very, very pale yellow. Oh, smells good. Oh. My first thought was running through a field of clover. Alfalfa or whatever. But there's a definitive, just relaxing smell to this. At least to me, it's relaxing. I can smell the honey. Oh wow. Whew. There's a burn in there. Alcohol. It's definitely stronger. I originally, again, I goofed on writing the numbers down. I'm really upset about that. But regardless, I mean, this is easily 11 plus. I get this subtle sweetness of honey in there, but then I also catch the, there's something else, and I keep thinking of an open field, but oh, that was good. And I've had meads before. I had one where I didn't care for it too much, but that just, it lingers. It's not very, very dry. It's on the drier side, but there's that hit of, I would almost say alcohol burn on that. Let's try the sparkling one. Some carbonation there too. Was a lot less, so there might not necessarily be a whole lot for it, but as you can see, it still came out to about, the same golden color, so it should be fine. I would have liked this to have foamed up more. Maybe I might need to try again with a fuller bottle, with only doing a 1 gallon batch and then splitting it. As you know, it didn't have much. Oh. There's a definite smell difference between these two. This one definitely gives you the hint of being sweeter. Maybe it's the carbonation involved. Oh, wow. That was so smooth. This one was delicious. Oh, they're both really good, but like, you know how I said this one had the alcohol burn? I didn't notice that in this one. This is the exact same mead. I just bottled it differently. Wow. It's very, very faint there. You can, there's, but oh, it's so good. I definitely like the sparkling on this one better. I probably have to compare full bottles so that we have a more even Stevens comparison. Maybe keep an eye out for that one. Well, thanks for joining me. Until then, I'm Bradley with 2B Brewing. I'll see you next time.